Hi my dear, Morgan. This video is for you. So my phone is a little bit better so I can do a few videos, but I'm working on more. So anyway, while you are healing your foot, I thought we would do some asana together, which is no feet and no standing. So you can limber up the spine, get that breath flowing, and get some yoga back into your practice and vice versa. So grab your mat and join me. The first pose we're going to do is cat-cow. So come onto your hands and knees. Spread the fingers nice and wide, shoulders over the wrists, heels curled up, toes curled under, pelvis over the knees. Put a little micro bend in your elbows if you hyperextend, which I think you do a little bit. And then nice long spine, nose pointing down. Inhale, open the heart into cow. Lift the chest. Exhale, release the top of the feet, round the spine, drop the head, push the earth away. Tops of the feet on that. Now shift forward a little bit to get the upper traps and a little bit of the rhomboids in the neck. Shift back. Inhale, lift the chest into cow. Exhale, round the spine, empty out the breath, cat pose. Maybe a little micro bend in the elbows. Shift forward. Inhale, lift the chest, widen the collarbone, cow. Curl the toes. Exhale, release the head, round the spine, empty out the breath, and then shift forward a little bit. Little micro bend in the elbows. Keep shifting forward. Inhale to a neutral spine. Curl the toes under. And now bring your knees closer together so you can focus on the hip joint. So I'm going to start with my left, and you can too if you'd like. And for what you're going to do, maybe bring the palms a little bit closer together for more support. Fingers nicely spread. Bottom ribs in, belly nice and strong. And now toes curled under, and inhale, lift the right knee out to the side, and we're going to do some hip rotations. So really opening up the hip joint. So nose pointing down, and then breathing, making a nice round circle, leading with the knee. And make sure that you're not leaning toward the right. So really get that core to be its stabilizer for this pose. Checking in with the breath. Full inhale and full exhale. And then reverse the direction. Go nice and slow, full and round. And then slowly release. Bring the knees closer together. And now we'll do the other side. So ground down with the palms and the knee. And then lift the right knee. And now start to do hip rotations. Keeping the torso nice and strong, so we're focusing on just opening up the hip right now on the right side. Full inhale and full exhale. And then reverse the direction. Notice if you're starting to lean toward the left, engage those glute muscles as well, and come back in. And slowly release. And then from here, bring the knees out nice and wide. Release the toes down and walk the palms forward. Stretching out the fingers and then lowering the forehead to the floor. Coming into your child's pose. So really drawing the pelvis back, but reaching the arms forward. So it's kind of like an active child's pose. And just breathe. Full inhale and full exhale. And now very slowly come out of your child's pose, coming back up onto your hands and knees. And then from here, you're gonna have your hands under your knees, hands under the shoulders, for a moment. And then from here, walk the palms forward about 1 palm's distance ahead. And now we'll do the left side first. So yeah, keep the toes curled under for a moment. So now flip the left palm, and from a diagonal, make sure you go past the right wrist. You're going to, because we're going to work on the shoulder, between the shoulder blades, specifically the rhomboids and the middle traps. So now you're going to flip the left palm, slide it up and past the right wrist. So keep reaching up and over, all the way up and over. Then lower the side of the head next to the ear down, and the side of the arm, so around the deltoid, the tricep. And now pull the shoulder away from the spine. You can keep the right elbow pointing up, or you can come into a bind and breathe. So full inhale and full exhale. I'm going to come out of it for a second. So when you're in this pose, I want you to feel like you're reaching up at a diagonal and pressing down and pulling the shoulder blade away from the spine, because you really want to open up that area and release. And when you come into the half bind, open the heart and the chest toward the sky, so you can get a little bit of a heart opening as well. So hold on for a few more breaths, and then we'll do the other side. And now slowly release the right palm, place it into the mat, press up, and now come back up onto your palms, come under your shoulders again with the palms, and then walk them forward a little bit. Again, about palms distance. And now flip the right palm, and again, slide it up and past that diagonal, up and past the left wrist, reach up and over at a diagonal, lower the side of the head down, the side of the arm, the deltoid, a little bit of the tricep. Pull the shoulder blade away. You can keep the elbow reaching up on the left, or if you did a bind like you did before on the other side, you can just wrap it around to the front hip and open the heart and the chest, pulling that left shoulder down the back while you're pulling the right shoulder away from the spine, and just breathe. Full inhale and full exhale. Really checking in with the breath. And if your feet are feeling a little uncomfortable, you can just totally release a little bit. I find it's a little bit more stable, but in your case, maybe it's better to just release. One more breath. And now slowly release the left palm down, press it into the mat, slide the right palm out, walk onto your shoulders. And now we'll do one round of cat and cow. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, release the feet, round the spine, straight arms, drop the head, really empty out the breath and shift forward. Little bend in the elbows, keep shifting forward. And then inhale to a neutral spine, curl the toes under and draw yourself up all the way onto your knees. Now you're not going to see my head, I think it gets cuts off, but that's okay. You see me in class and everything else. So from here, come onto your knees, and we're going to do camel pose. And we're not going to stay in it for too long. Actually, come back down so you can see this. We talked about in class, I always say to keep the chin to the chest to protect the hyoid bone. So we're going to do that again. So I want you to make sure the chin is to the chest all the way until you reach up. So you're going to lengthen up, and then you're going to come into your back bend. So try and keep the hips over the knees. So I'm telling you this now because my head gets cut off. Anyway, so come up onto your knees. So keep those hips straight down and bottom ribs in and down. So really important, keep the core nice and strong. Toes curled under. And then from here, place the palms on your back, around the sacrum, around your waistband area, and draw the elbows toward each other, open the chest, and then tuck the chin to the chest. Inhale, draw the torso up, keep lengthening up, and then start to go into your back bend. So keep lifting up and then going back. So try not to push the pelvis forward, looking up, coming up and going back, and then lift the chest, lift the head up, Draw the elbows toward each other and breathe. Don't let the head drop right here. Just keep looking up. Breathe. Squeeze elbows toward each other. One more breath. And slowly tuck the chin to the chest. And then come back down. And then come back onto your hands and knees to cat-cow. One more time. So spread the fingers nice and wide. Shoulders over the wrists. Toes curled under. Inhale. Open the heart. Widen the collarbone. Exhale. Release the feet. Round the spine. Empty out the breath. Shift forward. Let's do one more round. Inhale. Open the heart. Cow pose. Exhale, round the spine, empty out the breath, shift forward. And then inhale to a neutral spine. And this time you're going to come onto your sit bones. Coming into a cross-legged seat. Sukhasana. So sitting up nice and tall. Ankles in front of each other. And now we're going to work on just releasing the shoulders a little bit more. So reach the arms out. And now you're going to sweep the left arm under, coming into Garudasana arms. So before we do that, remember bottom ribs in and down, spine nice and tall. So arms stretch out, and then sweep the left arm under, stack the elbows, and you want your forearms to touch as much as they can. So you can keep the back of the fingers together, palms and fingers. Or if you're a little bit more flexible, try and get the palms together and then fingers reaching up. So anything like this is not so good. So then just stay like this, the back of the palms together instead. Because it's more important to keep this integrity of the pose so you can work on more opening up the shoulders than worrying about what the fingers and the wrists are doing. So if this works, great. If this works great as well. So whatever is most stable in keeping the palms together or the back of the palms together. Now, from here, I'm going to inhale and draw the elbows up toward the nose so the forearms are perpendicular to the floor. If you're tight, like I am, go nice and slow and face forward. So I'm trying to see you. So facing forward, checking in with the breath, nice tall spine. Keep drawing those elbows up toward the nose. And if you want to deepen the stretch even more, you can start to point the pinky fingers toward me. So away from your chest. Or you can just bring them back and keep the forearms perpendicular to the floor. Go up a little bit deeper, drawing the elbows up a little bit more. One more breath. Keep those bottom ribs in and keep breathing. I want to make sure you're breathing. And now slowly lower down. And release. And let's just do some shoulder rolls. Because I certainly felt that. Okay. Alright, so now let's do the other side. So bottom ribs in and down. Nice and tall. And now let the right arm is going to go underneath. So stack the elbows, back of the palms together, or again, the palms together, the soft side of the palm, the dorsal side. And now, from here, draw the pinkies toward, so you want the pinkies facing me, and then draw the elbows up, bottom ribs in and down. So keep inhaling and exhaling, drawing up, and explore how does it feel with the right arm underneath. Checking in with the breath. Keep your spine nice and tall, head facing forward. And maybe even smile into that intensity because you're opening it up, you're releasing. Go nice and slow. A little bit more. Bring the elbows up a little bit more. Checking in. And then very slowly lowering down. Gently unwinding, reach the arms out. And again, some nice shoulder rolls. And then let's reverse the direction. Good. Alright, stretch the neck to the side, toward the left. Actually, that would be the opposite, so towards your right. And then back to center, and then stretch it over again. And pull the shoulder away as well. And then come back to center. And the last pose we're going to work on today is make sure you just have enough space. I'm going to move back on my mat. Baddha Konasana, bring the soles of the feet together. And you can bring your hands by your hips to wiggle so that you're on your sit bones. Soles of the feet. Now if your knees are up here, like I mentioned in class, you want to bring the feet out a little bit more so you can release the groin. But I like to, especially with my knee is not great on the right. I need to bring it in. Now take the first two fingers and wrap them around the big toe, elbows out to the side. And I don't want you to pull on the toes. Don't hurt your toes. Just keep the integrity of the pose. So just holding on to the feet, nice tall spine, widen the collarbone. Inhale, lengthen, and then exhale, slowly start to fold. So you're folding from the hip joint, keeping a nice long spine, and just breathing. Remember not to pull on the toes, just hold on to the toes. And breathe. Full inhale and full exhale. Keeping the neck nice and long, and see if the groins and the pelvis, the groins are releasing just a little bit more. Maybe the knees are coming closer to the earth, or not, but just breathe into it and just get that release. One more breath. And then very gently come up. Release the fingers. Place your fingers behind you. Stretch out the legs. You're not going to see my feet, or you can see them a little bit. All right. And then just wiggle the legs side to side for a moment. Massaging the legs. And then you can finish your practice with a few minutes. Give yourself a lot, actually, maybe 5 to 7, maybe even 10 minutes of Sukhasana. And of course, text me if you have any questions. And I hope you enjoy this. You can do this at any point and at any time that you want, morning, noon, night, anything. It's a great way to just open up the spine a little bit, get some movement in the hips and the shoulders, and just release and do some asana so you can feel great and enjoy your love myself and heal your foot. Take care, and I will see you very soon. Love you. Bye. Oh, it didn't shut off. Whoops.